Okay, greetings everyone and welcome to the presentation for how to do a Curiosity Quest research assignment for our college writing class. Now, the first thing that I want to talk about, I'm going to talk through these directions, but I probably should show you how I got here. So I'm going to exit from here and I'm going to show you where I am in our class. So remember, it's best to navigate on the left side because those are our file cabinet drawers, right? And so then when we click on a week, then we are actually opening the drawer. So I'm in the drawer for week 2, which is where you should have found this link to begin with, right? And so you have your Start Here folder. And then this Curiosity Quest introduction is in your Serial Episode 2 folder. So when you click on that, you have both of the folders that come out here. So you just want to click on Curiosity Quest Intro, which will show you just the folders that you need. So this video, here is the link to the video that you're watching right now. And the link to the directions is right here. And so when you click on this link, it brings you to this presentation here. So I'm going to walk through these directions with you to make sure that you're understanding what it is you have to do for these assignments. So the first thing to understand is that this is the research that you'll be doing for your final podcast presentation project that will happen starting in week 14. Now, because we only have about 2.5 weeks at the very end of the semester to complete this project, I've decided to put your research for this project in throughout the semester so that at the end of the semester there's not that much left to do. All you'll have to do is then organize it into a presentation, but your research should be done. And that research then are these Curiosity Quest assignments. So you will do 3 of them. One of them, it will be after episode 4. Your second one will be at the end of episode 8, and the final one will be at the end of episode 13. And this tells you when we'll be doing that. So week 4, week 8, and week 13. It kind of correlates with the episode number that we're on, so that will help you remember. But that's when your Curiosity Quest presentations are due. So the first thing that you want to do is come up with a question, right? So you're going to ask some kind of really good question that helps you either understand the criminal justice system better or helps you to understand how Adnan's case is or is not a good illustration of that. But again, it should all come back to how effective is our country's criminal justice system. And again, your final opinion will be about how specifically Adnan's case illustrates justice or doesn't illustrate justice. And so for you to understand that, you should be asking questions while you're listening to the different episodes about different procedural things or other investigative things or anything that has to do with the podcast story of Adnan's case that makes you think, oh, I don't know that about the justice system. I want to know more about that, because that will help you ultimately determine if Adnan's case is a good representation of the justice system working or not. So when I heard in episode 1 that Adnan had an alibi in Asia, but that didn't do him any good, I didn't understand that, because that makes it sound like the justice system doesn't work, right? Someone has an alibi and it doesn't help them. I didn't understand that. So I wanted to know why was it too late? How could an alibi ever be too late? And then if the appeal was denied, what was in the appeal and how does that process work? So that was my question. So then once you have a good question, you are going to look it up, and that's the research part, right? And so here's where you get to Google your question, and you want to read the information from about 3 to 5 websites that address your question. Make sure at any point that you're not copying and pasting any information from any websites, because that would be academic dishonesty. One note that's here, just remember that with these presentation due dates, the presentation is always due by Wednesday, and then that way you have time to watch at least 3 of your peers' presentations and comment by Friday. That just gives everyone time. So don't forget, presentations are always due Wednesday. So when this says due week 4, it's due Wednesday of week 4, due Wednesday of week 8, and Wednesday of week 13. That way you have time to comment on your peers' presentations by Friday. So again, step 1, ask a good question, then research. You're going to research your question, go to 3 to 5 websites, take notes on what you're learning, and keep track of the websites you're visiting. So this is just an example. Here are the websites that I went to. Here are my notes. And you can see here how simple this is, right? You're just writing down what you learn. Now, depending on your website, depending on your question, you may have more or fewer notes. But again, just make sure you're always writing down the information that you're learning. Now, once you're done doing your research, the next thing to do is to present it. Now this slide here will help you see all of the different slides in your presentation. So you'll see the first thing that you'll do is present your question and explain why you picked it. This could be the first slide of your presentation. Then you're going to present your findings. Now you can see here the next step is to present your artifacts. Now these can be either presented together or separate. You might present all of your sources and the information you learned and then present artifacts. So these could be videos, screenshots, pictures, anything related to the documentation of your quest that'll help us understand everything better. So for my quest specifically, when you look at my sample, you'll see that I have the actual judges' orders that were published online, and those are my artifacts to back up the research that I did. But you could either present them at the same time, or you can present again all of your findings and then present your artifacts. Then you're going to have to talk about how the information you learned helped you to understand the criminal justice system and how you're feeling about this case being a good example of justice or not. And so that will happen after you present your research and your artifacts. Then you must have a correct MLA Works Cited page, and then finally you're going to upload your presentation to VoiceThread. So these are the parts of your presentation. Again, present your question, present your findings and any artifacts that you have. Make sure you talk about how you understand the system better or differently after you learned your information, and an MLA Works Cited page. And then you're going to upload it. So that's probably the part that I should help you with now. So when you go back to D2L, the place that you want to go is this place here, VoiceThread. So in VoiceThread is where you're going to actually present your Curiosity Quest. But one thing I should show you before we go there actually is in week 2, and I'm going to go back to serial episode 2 into that Curiosity Quest because I want to show you that I've given you a sample Curiosity Quest. So if you click on this, you'll see that this is just a template that you can use and just kind of put your information in it. So once it's up, you'll see that I have all the slides here that you can just kind of fill in. So if you want to use my template, I would download it to your computer, and you can see that it downloaded down there. That's going to be important when we get to VoiceThread. So when you have done that, then you're going to pull up the presentation. And mine opened on a different screen, so I'm going to pull it over here. Okay, so here we are going to actually, this is where we're going to edit it. So instead of it saying Curiosity Quest sample, I might say Jan's first quest, right? And then my question slide, I'm going to go ahead and edit and just take out this information, and I'm going to put in whatever my question was, right? So I can say like, whatever my question is, I can put it here, and then I'm going to explain why I picked it here. And then here you can say I'm going to present my findings from my first source. So maybe you want to put, I went to the New York Times and here's the link, and then this is what I found, right? So you're going to edit these slides to formulate your presentation. So once you're done with that and you've completed your entire presentation and it's pretty polished and perfect, you've done all of the editing that you want, then you are going to go back to, in our course, to the table of contents, to the VoiceThread where I was just showing you a minute ago. So you'll go here to VoiceThread. And when you get there, you want to go to VoiceThread Home. And I'll show you how to do it from both. There is a way, so it doesn't really matter which one you click on, but unfortunately, they're not structured the same. So I would say go to VoiceThread Home. And when you do, this VoiceThread home is your home page for every single VoiceThread that you have access to based on all the courses you're taking. And so here you just want to go to this create button and click here. And then you can see you're going to go to add media. Now I'll show you where this exact screen is on the other one in case you end up clicking there instead. So if you go to this other link, VoiceThread course home, this is just the course home for our course. And so when you get here, this is just my development course in D2L, so I don't have any VoiceThreads for that one. And I don't know what you'll see. You'll probably just see whatever VoiceThreads I've shared with you for this class, but they will show up here in this window. But what you need to do is click up here where it says add your own. And so you're going to actually create a new VoiceThread. So you'll click here. And so when you get here, you can see you're at the same screen you were from the other way. But I just wanted to show you that you can get there both ways. All right. So then when we get here, we're going to click to add media. So we'll go here. And the media is on our computer, right? And so I'm going to click it. Here it is, right? It's the sample Curiosity Quest. And I'm going to open it. I'm going to enter a title. I might call this Quest 1, and I'm going to save it. And so then it's going to take a minute to upload here. And so while we're waiting for it, just know that if you need any help at any time, please make sure you come to office hours or writing lab, and I'd be happy to walk you through this process. But don't forget that your PowerPoint presentation needs to be absolutely perfect. You cannot edit any of your slides once you upload it into VoiceThread. So it's really important that your presentation is exactly the way you want it to look. And it does take a little bit to process, so just know that you're going to have to wait. You can see the little wheel spinning. It just takes a minute to do that. So again, we're just waiting for the presentation to process. And if you look up here, we are under the add media step, right? And so our second step is to comment, and that's where we can actually start adding those comments to our VoiceThread. And that's what we're waiting on. Here we go. Okay, good. All right, so now that it's here, so all the slides are here, and again, remember these are pretty perfect polished slides. You've done all of your editing. Then we're going to go to comment. And so here we're on the comment part, and you know you're going to click on the microphone. And when you do that, it's going to start recording. So you're going to say, hi, welcome to my Curiosity Quest, right? And then when you're done talking for this slide, you hit stop recording. You can actually listen to it. When you do that, it's going to start recording. Now you're going to click save, but I'm not going to do that. I don't want to keep that, so I'm going to click cancel, but you should click save. Now, once you're done talking for this slide, you'll just hit here and you'll go to your question slide and you'll hit this again. You'll hit your microphone. You'll explain your question and why you are asking it, right? And so then you'll just keep doing that through each one of these. You'll talk over all of your slides. You're going to keep hitting this plus button and the microphone. Then when you're all done with that second step, then you're going to go up here to these three little lines and you're going to click on share. And so when you do that, you're going to go to basic. Okay, you can see there's this secure way to do it. Nope, I want you to click on basic. Make sure when you click on basic that you are clicking here where it says make sure and allow anyone to view it. View has to be checked. Make sure it is. You can choose whether you want comment to be checked, because you can allow comments if you'd like classmates to comment right on your VoiceThread. You can do that, but view has to be checked. Then you just click copy the link, and then you are ready to go back into our class, and you are ready to submit the VoiceThread. So I'm going to go to week 4 because that's actually where it is. And then, let's see, it is going to be here in episode 1 through 4, Curiosity Quest. Here is the folder. I'm going to click Start a New Thread. I'm going to say Jan's Quest 1, and then I'm going to paste the link there, and I'm going to click Post. And that's it. You will have finished your first quest. Please let me know if you have any questions, but those are the general steps.